Today I want to address a pressing issue that not only impacts my life personally, but also highlights the significant concerns in areas like privacy data, protection, and how healthcare providers and organizations manage personal information. My experiences involve the misuse of my formal married name, combination with my medical records, and serious breaches of important data protection and laws, specifically the General Data Protection Regulation Community, referred to as the GDPR. By sharing this journey, I hope to raise awareness, urging organizations to treat sensitive personal information with the seriousness it deserves. To give you some context, I got married in Wales back in July 2011, and I took on the last name as Grigg. For many years now, of 10 years, I use this name as my official identity. However, in June of 2023, I legally changed my name through to Depot of Christopher Emil Rossley through the process of Depot office in London. From that point onwards, all formal documents and other communications were supposed to be reflected this new legal name. Unfortunately, I face significant challenges because this has not been the case, which has resulted in a lot of distress, only to be told recently that the doctors have falsified my medical records. Using my formal name, the medical centre, Annandale Medical Centre here in Knutsford, complained and released my records based on this outdated name, which raises critical questions about the identification and consent processes employed by the so-called official solicitor and the medical centre prior to releasing such sensitive information. It appears that neither the solicitor nor Annandale Medical Centre, being Nicola and so forth, took the necessary steps to confirm my legal identity before disclosing my medical records. This is particularly alarming because it seems that inaccuracy may have been involved into my records, including incorrect details that misrepresent my identity, the essential aspects of my medical history. The scenario is not just a matter of an oversight, but significant, fundamental breach of trust and violation of my data and my protection within this country of the UK under the GDPR organisations, but most obviously lawfully, fairly and transparently. They are obligated to maintain an accurate information and respect my individual rights, such as the right to correct for any errors data by continuing to use my formal name, Grigg, and providing access to medical records without verifying my identity. Both the official solicitor and the medical centre here in Knutsford have failed to meet their legal obligations. Additionally, human rights legislation is relenting in this situation also. The Human Rights Act of 2010 emphasizes the right for respect for one person's family or family life, which indicates maintaining control over their personal information. The lack of regard of my legal name, alongside the mishandling of my medical records, has significantly compromised my rights to privacy, where a social worker just randomly turning up at my front door unannounced. Another concerning element has been the absence of transparency, which is the biggest one, and accountability also. From those involved at Cheshire East Council and Great Places, I have yet to receive a clear explanation as to why my formal married name, Grigg, continues to be used, why proper identification proceeds and the procedures were overlooked, or how the false information managed to enter my records, such as the systematic failures to not only affect me, which is completely catastrophic me in, I can't begin to tell you, the weakness, the public's trust in my doctors and in the entire system of this country, only intensifies why I don't feel anywhere near trust. My trust is broken, and I feel almost catastrophically on why I don't feel confident any further with what I'm being put through in the institutions that are expected to safeguard and sensitive personal data. Given the seriousness of these matters, I have taken specific actions to rectify the situation. Personally, why I'm filming outside here, because this is a Great Places property. I have a demand that Great Places don't want me to film and broadcast this on all of my social media. But the fact of the matter is, since I've lived here in 4.5 years, and immediately to stop any authorization and access to my personal and medical records, and if they think silencing me on social media because they would then want to get an injunction against to have me removed from this property, then you have the two choices. Under my previous name, moving forward, my data management must have been accurately reflected my legal name, Christopher O'Meara Rossley. Secondly, I have insisted or a thorough review and correction of all my medical records held by Annandale Medical Centre here in Knutsford to assure that my medical and history is true and represented, because I don't feel safe with that doctors no more. I don't feel adequately safe. The reason why I'm broadcasting outside in the public domain, because I feel some people need to hear why this town is not what it's meant to be under the representation of who I am, and that it is removes any misleading or incorrect information. Moreover, I have requested a full audit of all my access to my medical records, for why I have now filed a serious complaint to the General Medical Council, because Dr. Hurd, being my doctor, falsely accused me of being delusional. During the time I've lived here, knowing that I told them categorically in June, after these so-called meetings that was orchestrated, that I was going to be known as delusional because of me trying to do what I'm doing and trying to better myself. So how can I better myself if I'm being delusional? But then continuously using my formal married name was in use. So this audit is a crucial to understand. Like even today, I phoned the House of Westminster to try and get some help to help me within these legal matters. And the fact that Westminster was wanting to help, almost to the fact that I feel excluded and the fact that they put the phone down on me. So the scope of this issue determines who accessed my information, because no one is coming forward and telling me who the real person are or persons are and why these oversights occurred. Because officially I also expect a formal apology and detailed explanation, because both the solicitor at GT Stewart Solicitors and the official solicitor for this country, Sarah Castle, thinking that they have the oblivious right, without my authority, to touch my medical records and to not give me proper accountability. It is vital that an organisation plus as Great Places, Cheshire's Council, the doctors, and many other people who have discriminated me over these last 10 months must recognise their mistakes and iterate how they will also rectify them and how illustrate they will prevent such errors in the future, which I doubt that. I also seek assurance that my personal data will be managed in a strict accordingly with the GDPR or other acceptable legal requirements during the my correct name legally is used and also being done. Because also I put a step to get in contact with the depot to make sure that it's correctly sorted, to identify who is responsible within both the solicitors of the office and the medical and Cheshire's Council and Great Places, and how they plan to assure accountability moving forward. Lastly, I want to confirm that this Thursday, the 18th, Great Places thought they can put something in place, being, if we don't turn up, or if they don't turn up, they have the oblivious right suddenly it's just come out the window. By the way, we're going to charge you £50 for a missing appointment now. None of that's been mentioned up till now. So, and yet now, before me recording this, I checked on their website that there is no record of their tenancy agreement, despite the fact that over the course of the time of 4 years we've been living here, we were forced to sign a document on a window that's never been seen by the day of where it is, and that any of my data forthwith under my formal name is being securely managed to prevent any further misuse, and that will be taken not only by myself, it will be taken by the team at the depot. This issue transcends my individual experience. It affects everyone who relies on healthcare, legal institutions to handle their information correctly, and constantly with legal experts that I have no idea where I'm going for the reason why I'm posting today. So to explore all avenues available, options, and I am considering escalating this matter to the regulating authorities like the Information Commissioner's Office. Organisations that handle sensitive personal information must take their responsibilities seriously. They need to establish rigorously procedures for confirming identity, obtaining necessary consent, maintaining data assurances, and ensuring the secure of management of sensitive data of any person, so forth, moving forward, and management of sensitive data. Neglecting any one of these areas can lead to substantial harm, compromise individual privacy and dignity, and enduring trust in the vital public services, which unfortunately that's not existing now. If you find yourself in any of these similar positions, situations, or belief your personal information is being mishandled, I strongly encourage you to inform anyone you can before it gets out of hand the way it has for me. You to formally express your concerns and seek the necessary support systems. Everyone has the right to accept their personal data and information to be treated with the respect and protect by law. So I thank you for listening, and I hope you have a lovely evening.